Hey, it's Jen Healy coming to you live with another QHHT recap. So, as promised, I wanted to go over what are some of the best open-ended questions to ask when doing a really great session with your clients. So, this is a follow-up from the Miami Level 2 training that I just completed. And I really had trouble before going into this training understanding and figuring out how important these questions are. So as I took notes throughout the week, I made a list of all the most important and favorite questions that I came up with, and I'm sure that you have more, and I welcome those in the comments, and I'll keep creating a list for us practitioners so we can get better and better at this. Obviously, we need to be spontaneous and respond to the moment, whatever the moment calls for, showing up for that. But I did want to go over the questions that I gathered and offer them to you as a gift. And you'll also get the Google Doc link, so everybody is welcome to receive that. And I just wanted to make it one page, but obviously I can make it more. So I'm going to actually read these so I get them correct. But this is a follow-up from the eye-opening realizations that I had after giving and receiving sessions in Miami. So again, the most important thing is to stay open and curious, stay centered in your heart and allowing, knowing that the SC is totally in charge and leading the session. And to always give reassurance to your client, even when they're dropping into these deep states and entering these past life regressions. I find it really helpful to use a soft tone, to be really open and present with the client in such a way that it's reinforcing and reassuring. So saying very good, okay, all right, wonderful. I actually got these extra helpful hints from Corinne when I talked to her, who was one of the level 3 practitioners. And it was really about going into the nothingness and blackness. And she was so great about giving reassurance and the importance of that when the client may be a little unsure about what's going on or what to do next. So those kind of affirmations, you're doing great, this is wonderful, that kind of thing really helps to keep them in a relaxed state when this is new to them. So questions like, let's explore that more, or as you look around, tell me what else you see. What are you experiencing now? How does that feel? How do you feel about that? Describe that for me. So whatever object, describe the blackness for me. Describe that object for me. That kind of thing. So you're encouraging them to go more into the details. What are you noticing now? Describe that feeling more. Share with me how that feels. Take a moment and explore that more with me. Tell me more about that. They all might actually sound like the same question, but especially when wanting someone to stay or stick with a situation that they might be having difficulty, like the blackness or the nothingness, just changing tweaking the sentence structure just a little bit makes all the difference in the world. Just even saying, oh, wow, that's so fascinating. Tell me more about that. Instead of just repeating, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. It's like adding a few other words in there that will make it sound like you're asking something else or trigger them to actually notice something else. So share with me how that feels. Take a moment and explore that more with me. Tell me more about that. What are you sensing? What's happening now? Describe that for me. Where would you like to go from here? What are you doing now? Where are you going? Is there anyone else with you? How do you perceive your body? What else are you sensing? Where do you want to go now? What are you feeling? How do you feel now? Anything else you are noticing? What does that feel like to be there? Anything look or feel familiar to you? Have you been here before? What happens next? Where were you before this? Was anybody with you? That's so interesting. Tell me more. Wow, how fascinating. Now what's happening? You're doing so well. Thank you for sharing. What else is happening? Can you give me an example? If they're having trouble describing something, you can ask them for an analogy or an example. That's really helpful. What does it remind you of? Do you see anything else, like in the blackness? Keep asking, do you notice anything else? Do you see anything else after they describe one thing? What else are you seeing besides that? Do you feel separate or a part of the energy, particularly when people are going into, instead of a traditional or typical past life, when they're going into space and the energy and the nothingness and the blackness? It's so great to ask, do you feel a part of that blackness or separate from it? Questions like that will give them a sense of their own being, their own body. And if you do notice that they are connected to Source or that they went to Source, it's always good to ask, why did you leave? Why did you leave that place? Why did you leave Source? That might trigger another memory for them to relate to. So this is my one sheet list of really good questions, open-ended questions. I went over them kind of quick, but you'll see those in the description, and then you'll have a link to the Google Doc, and I welcome you to print that out or use it as you see fit and share it. And if there are more questions that you would like to leave, more open-ended questions that are your favorites that you want to leave for me in the comments, I'll add them to the Google Doc so we all have it as really good practitioners on the path of becoming even better. Thank you so much for watching. I am Jen Healy, and you can find out more about my practice at quantumhealing.com. And it's Healyng spelled with a Y-N-G, HEALYNG.com. I will see you next time. I'm going to post another video and share more of my tidbits and recaps from the Miami training, the QHHT training. Thank you so much. Bye for now.